Sister Bray Yah saying shalom to all the brothers and sisters scattered around the four corners of the earth. The kingdom is near. Praise Yah.
Ruach HaKodesh in my system. Father, fill me up, I wanna listen. Living water fills my soul. Father, never let me go. I need you to make me whole. I need you to pay the road. Father, fill me and I need your wisdom. Not for pride and glory or attention. I need it so I can make better decisions. Resist if I get tempted. Cleanse every inch of my temple. This love you give is so fulfilling. Ruach HaKodesh in my system. Father, fill me up, I wanna listen. Living water fills my soul. Father, never let me go. I need you to make me whole. I need you to pay the road. Ruach HaKodesh in my system. Father, fill me up, I wanna listen. Ruach HaKodesh in my system. Father, fill me up, I wanna listen. I wanna listen. Have you ever felt it when the day goes by? Oh yeah, who sings it at the perfect time?
What's good, family? I know I said I was going to be on at 4, but I did that because I thought I was going to have to work later this morning. But I did finish it early, so I'm like, man, let me go ahead and go live because I've been watching a lot of this stuff with this war that's going on and whatnot, and I just kind of been watching. I wanted to, wait a little bit, watch to see what's going on. And man, it's so much nonsense going on in this war, bro. It's so much nonsense. We really need to be seeking y'all. Like I'm in 100% agreement with Teo Ministries about fasting this week. You know what I'm saying? Because this right here, man, this junk is crazy. This junk is absolutely crazy. There's so much propaganda and so many lies that are being brought forth. It's honestly hard to know who to believe. Like, just take straight up. Like, it's so hard to find the truth because there's just lies being pushed. And the sad part that I'm seeing is people are okay with the lies. This is the part that's like just blowing my mind. Like, people are okay with the lies, and it's like, I mean, it's just so bad. It's so bad. I'm just gonna jump right into it, and start showing y'all some things here, what I've been seeing in this nonsense. Cause man, let me tell you, this place right here, we it's time for us to go back home, man. It's mad time for. Let me actually make that part of the whole screen. Yeah, I'll do that. It's time for us to go back home, man. Like, straight up, because this junk right here is absolutely insane. I want to make this a little bit bigger. Make it. Let me see it so y'all can see it. Let me see if I increase that size a little bit. Yeah, that makes it a little bit better. But I'm sorry, I just jumped right in, man, because I'm like, I've been looking at this stuff and I'm like, man, I thank y'all for coming back. Thoughts Brewing episode 7. You know how we do it, Thoughts Brewing. I always like to point out the nonsense of the world, because what we got to realize is we've all been Hellenized to the highest degree. We were born in this system, and we put too much trust in this system. All of us, even every day myself, I gotta check myself. I'm constantly checking myself and how I think about things and how I view things, and I question everything. Y'all know that. Y'all should know that about me right now. I question everything, especially now, because I went with a lot of narratives back in the day. I remember when Black Lives Matter came out, I argued with a former buddy of mine about that, because I was all like, oh, it's Black Lives Matter. How are you talking about blah, blah, blah? It's for black people. And that was wrong. I remember seeing an article on Facebook about a sister that was going to jail because she supposedly defended herself by shooting at her husband, who came at her and trapped her in the garage, and she shot to defend herself, and now she's the one going to jail. But that whole story that had everybody riled up on Facebook was wrong. It was incorrect. She actually came to his house and was in the garage with him and shot at him in his house and almost killed him, missed him by a shot in the head. So I've fallen for the okie doke before. I refuse to fall for the okie doke again. And this war right here, man, this junk is all okie doke. It's all okie doke. Like, this junk is just weird, straight up, even from both sides. Putin's side, other side with the West. It's this mess right here is just orchestrated. That's pretty much all I can tell you. This junk right here goes down to the highest level. But I'm not just saying this. I got proof. You know, I'm gonna show you proof. I'm not just gonna be saying stuff. So this one right here, everybody's been seeing about how he's on the front line. You know, this dude here. Now, oh man, I should have put a link for it in the video. My boy TCA did a great video the other day about your boy Zelensky, about how he was a former comedian, literally. Like, there's a video of this dude out here in like a chicken suit dancing around, like he was a literal clown. And now all of a sudden he's the president of the whole nation. Mind you, he was installed under the Biden, under the Obama Biden their regime, administration regime, tomato, however you want to say it. They were installed under there. Like, that's, you know, nobody was paying attention to this stuff back in 2013 and 2014. And it's hilarious seeing all these little pros on the internet now. Like, everybody got so much to say. And I'm like, bro, where are you at? You don't even know what's going on. Like this. So they put this dude up there. This dude installed in there, and now they're showing all these pictures and stuff, trying to like put him off like he's this great hero and he's just this big time, you know, oh, look at him, he's so brave. Look at this. Now here you have on the left side, Ukraine president fighting on the front lines. So you got all these different tweets here of different people saying, unlike the coward who poses shirtless with bears to make up for his fragile masculinity, Ukraine's Jewish president is on the front lines fighting for his people. That's a leader. Here's another one. There were many who criticized Ukrainian President Zelensky's speech and described it as weak. Here he is in body armor and a helmet on the front lines. Not one of those critics has the gumption to stand next to him. You see this? Like, this is the nonsense that look, man, in war, there is never a black and white. They've raised us with this nonsense that there's there's white hats and black hats, that there's good guys and bad guys, that there's a clear, like, you know, Hitler was the clear bad guy. Well, we should have came against him. Was he really though? Was he really though? When you start really looking into the war and looking into all the stuff that happened in World War II, there's a lot of little fuzzy details that they don't tell you about. Like how the fact that they just say, oh, Hitler's dead, but nobody saw his body. They just dug a random hole in the ditch and said, oh, he's dead. And then you have these other islands around South America that have very large German population who are very rich. How did these Germans get all the way over there? We do know that South America was one of their go-to escape plans. Again, this is from our past, from World War II, and what we can see in the past. So who's to say that what they're saying, they're already shaping the narrative right now. You see this. So this thing that they're showing here on the right, Ukraine president inspecting the border, 4/9/21. This dude went there last year. They got old pictures from last year, and they're passing it around. And these people, who again, all blue check marks. And let me tell you something. If you use Twitter, beware of blue check marks. Blue check mark people, the verified folks, are basically these people bought and paid for, man. They bought and paid for. These people, I don't have no nice words for them. The stuff that they say is just ridiculous and asinine to the highest degree. So this is case one. They lying about this man being out there. He's not out there. And then you see here, even on the side, I voted against him in 2019. Now I'm sure there will be statues of this man all over the world. Already a legend. What? What? For what? For what? For not saying NATO, hey, you know, my people come first. You know, NATO, I'm not going to join y'all because it's going to cause us problems. We'll be independent. We'll just do trade another way. You know, I'm not going to join NATO. But literally everything that Putin was saying, hey, we don't want them to join NATO. This dude's like, oh, yeah, we don't want you to invade, but we're still joining NATO. If he cared about his people, why was he so adamant about joining NATO? Interesting. That's one. This is one. Let me go jump into another one. This one right here was hilarious to me. This one right here made me laugh. There's a couple of videos out there of this Ghost of Kiev, man. This junk right here, oh my God. People are like children. I've never seen so many grown adults act like children, looking for like little kid stories. They just found a video of, let me see if they got the video in here. They should have it. Yeah, here it is right here. This is the video.
Самолет тут. Вон он еще один падает самолет. Два.
Now, I don't know if you can see it in the video playback, but I'm going to pull this back here. So there's one thing that when I first saw this video, it stuck out to me. If you notice, when the jet's flying, it's stuttering. Look, pay attention to when the jets fly. You see how the jet was like lagging almost in the sky? Now that doesn't happen in normal cameras unless the whole video itself was lagging. So you would hear audio glitches, you would hear all that kind of stuff. But you know what lags? Video games. If you're playing a video game and your hardware can't keep up with the frames, it lags. It causes that little jerkiness that you see. That's why Kotaku, a video game website, said, hey, this Ghost of Kiev fighter pilot blowing up Russian aircraft and trending clip actually from a video game. Just jump from video games, man. There's another one too out there with where they said that they were shooting down a fighter plane and it showed a minigun shooting down. First of all, they said it was missiles that shot down the plane, and then it was a minigun that was sitting on a boat that was shooting at the plane. That also came from a video game. It was called Arma. The video game is called Arma. And they took the screen from Arma, made it a little bit darker, and said, oh, look, this is Ukraine defending themselves. Like, there's nothing but lies being spit out there, and people was just like, they out there running with it. And some people know that it's a lie. Some people know it's a lie, and they don't care. Let me see if I can find. Let's see. I'm going to pull this one up. Nope. I'm going to do another one real quick here. Pull it up, and you know how I do. I like to do it. I like to show you real time. Pull up this here that I found. This is a dude. He's I don't agree with all his opinions, but when it comes to politics, man, this dude is well read. He was a political science major, and man, this man is intelligent. I first found him because it was, again, this dude here was defending Michael Jackson. I was blown. I'm like, oh, this is a metalhead, dude. Like, what's a metalhead doing listening to Michael Jackson? Man, this dude made 3 videos breaking down the whole Michael Jackson situation, how the state railroaded him. I mean, it was meticulous and it was all facts. I've been following him ever since then. Like I said, I don't agree with everything the man says. Some of his, his rants and stuff are, profanity laden, but the information, this is what I'm saying. The information that he gives is so good, especially when it comes to politics. And down here, let me see, it's not too far down there. Let me see if I can find, here we go. So he posted the same thing I had about this one here. The dude that said, I voted against him in 2019. I'm sure there's statues to be made. He points out the same. This is from last year. Look at this response. I genuinely like your takes for the most part, but you aren't dumb enough to not understand the people of Ukraine need a moral boost. I get that it's propaganda, but those people are literally fighting for their right to not live under Russian authority. Ignore the photo D. This man is telling him to ignore the facts for the sake of having a narrative to spit. What kind of what clown world are we in? Like, if y'all don't know that the end is coming, man, these people will willingly accept the lie. They don't care that it's not real. They know it's not real. They don't care. They want it to be real so bad. This when you oh my goodness. Let me just type this in. Watch. Just watch this. Let me see. It should come up. Yep, Ghost of Kiev. Not dead. I don't want that. Ghost of Kiev didn't exist. Now you get all these. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, here we go. You got all these different little things here of these folks. Like, here's another one. They've got this is from the Ukraine. This is Ukraine's site, the official Twitter account of Ukraine. This is the official Ukrainian Twitter, and they're showing this. They know it's fake. They know it's not real, and they're putting it out there. Like, what? Dog. This war is the weirdest thing. Maybe it's not weird. Maybe it's weird because we're now in a war that we can actually have technology in. Because see, World War II, they didn't have all this tech and stuff like that. So the propaganda was always posters and what you see on the movies. And they would go to movie theaters and watch the war updates and stuff then, because they didn't have, the TV to have live updates like we have it now. So everybody would go into movie theaters, and before movies would play, they would show you propaganda of all the stuff going on in the war and how you need to buy war bonds and whatnot. Like, this nonsense here is far worse than that. Like, you literally have we know it's fake. We know it's fake. They know we can know it's fake. But what's the problem is most people won't go and look it up and won't double check. So they'll see this and they'll fit their sensibilities, their confirmation bias, and then they'll run with it. They even got a picture drawn of it. Look, all the same thing. This here, all this stuff. All these people talking about Ghost of Hitler, they put Space Ghost. Are you kidding me? I'm not even. Like, all of this stuff is on here. This came from Battlefield, and they're making memes about it. Like, this is insane. This is it's baffling to me about how ridiculous these lies and stuff are of what they're doing. And one of the big lies that they're telling that they're not telling in the West is there's another one. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I get to that, I'm gonna go to this one too. There's another one. This one, I'm not sure. I couldn't find anything that said it was Russian, but from the looks of it, like I'm gonna show you the video. Let's just matter of fact, if I pull it up, yeah, it comes up perfect. Let me play this here. It's okay. He survived. They ended up getting him out. I just wanted you to see the video. Now, notice this. This vehicle is by itself. There's no other vehicles around. They're saying this is a Russian vehicle. So why would a Russian vehicle? This is it looks like an anti-air system, almost like a multi-launch what they call it, MRLS, multi-rocket launch system, because it has like all that little stuff sitting there on the top here. When you look at all of that, raise the camera up there, right there. You see these little launchers here on the top. So it looks like some type of like artillery launcher system or a rocket or anti-air type system. So why would you have an anti-air vehicle by itself that's not designed, for combat? They could, easily run up with something and shoot it, with a rocket and it's down, or Ukrainian BTR, not even a tank, just one of their BTRs can come up, blow holes in it. Like, they're not thick in the armor. Why would that be there by itself? That don't make sense. Like, militarily, that doesn't even make sense. Like, look, I ain't saying I'm a military expert. I'm not saying I know everything about it, but logically, it doesn't make sense to have a vulnerable unit sitting out there by itself. That doesn't make any sense. Like, what in the world is that? That makes no sense whatsoever. So I have, did I unhide that? Yeah, okay, cool. Good shot right there, Mama Red. The box is coming out. But it didn't make sense to me, and everybody ran with it, saying that this was a Russian armor that ran over the guy. They got the guy out. He was stuck in there. Thank y'all, he was okay, and they were able to get him out of there, and he was all right. But this is from the Indian Express. They don't know. They just say a military tank, this is why I chose it, because you can't tell. Most of the vehicles for Russia have like a Z on it. They've been having that little Z pattern on it. So I looked at this from like a couple of angles, look hard. I didn't see no Z, but you don't know. But they're taking it and running with it. That, oh, this is Russia running them over, but that don't make sense. That doesn't. Again, why would a Russian anti-air be by itself, just sitting there? Like, again, when you look at the video here, this is them getting them out. But right here, it's by itself. That's when he ran over the thing. It's by itself. There's no other. All the Russian stuff have been in convoys. Every vehicle and wreckage I've seen of Russian vehicles, there's been like 3 or 4 other vehicles around it. They've been running in like convoys or whatever, or it's a tank in an area with other tanks and other trucks around. You don't see nothing just sitting there by itself. So it's like, what? What? Eggs, man. Hold on, Sister Nitz. You are absolutely 100% right there. Right there. Because again, this just doesn't logically make sense. Like, let's just logically use our head now. Why, if you have a unit that's not designed to go in and do tank warfare or even tank the soldier warfare, why would it be by itself? Why would it just be sitting there? Just again, I don't know whose tank it is. I'm not saying who it is or isn't, but for them to just run with it and say it's a Russian one is ignorant, because you don't know. You don't know what that is. Nobody knows. It's been so much nonsense, man. Nonsense. But one of the biggest things that I've been seeing is just the hypocrisy of the West. See, I saw somebody say that, Trump was over there giving Putin information and all that stuff. See, look, man, why is Trump even a subject right now? Just ask yourself that. Why is Trump even a subject? Why are we talking about this man? He's not president. He ain't got nothing to do with none of this stuff. He can make his little comments about whatever, but he ain't got nothing to do with this. He ain't had nothing to do with none of this, but yet they still keep bringing up Trump. They still say that 2016 was caused by Russia, but then 2020 was fine and everything's okay and it was just perfectly okay, even though they don't want to tell you that the software in those voting machines was updated the night before the vote, which is kind of shady and sus. But I'm not gonna say nothing about that. I personally believe all elections are a sham. So it wasn't just one election or two elections. It was a bunch of them that are just shams. I truly believe that. And they still bringing up Trump. They still bringing up Trump, which blows my mind because right now you have not only back in 2014. So in 2013, 2014, there was nonsense that started in Crimea, and it was Obama who started it. And that's what started this whole conflict way back then. They had Russia's invading. It was really Russia answering to the uprising that America, which is always what they do, they cause uprisings. Look at what they did in Libya. Look at what they did in Syria. Look at what they did in Cuba. Look at what they did in Iraq. All of these so-called terrorists and horrible people were all trained by the United States to counteract the communists back in the day. Castro and Che Guevara were trained by the CIA. That's why when Castro took over, he said, screw y'all, I'm doing what I want to do. And all of a sudden now they're like, oh, he's evil, he's terrible. Then you have the Bay of Pigs, and he's like, nah, dog, y'all trained me, and took him out. Literally what happened with the Bay of Pigs is what's going on right now with Putin. Again, I'm not saying I'm not on either side. Again, this ain't. I know what this battle is. This battle is basically just orchestrating our return. This is Yah's will coming forward. He's using the hubris of man to his own designs. It's like Yah's reading all the chess moves of all these fallen angels who have their workers who work for them, who I'm going to get to them because, again, they're workers together. This is design. Keep that in mind, and I'm going to prove it to you. But yeah, so here we have the Azov Battalion. I don't know if anybody knows about the Azov Battalion, but they're a white supremacist militia within Ukraine. The snow had just melted on the streets of Kiev when Sean Fuller, a U.S. Navy veteran, arrived in the early spring of 2018. His roller suitcase clattering over the paved stones of the Ukrainian capital on the western edge of town, he found the address that his recruiter had sent him via Facebook, a flop house with about 24 beds, each reserved for a foreign fighter. The men Fuller met inside were mostly from Europe, as his recruiter, a chain-smoking Norwegian named Joachim Furholm, had been convicted of bank robbery in Norway in 2010. The two of them met over Facebook, got to know each other well, gaming out their plans, getting military training and combat experience from one of Ukraine's militia groups. When they rendezvoused, Fuller noticed a swastika tattoo on the middle finger of Furholm's left hand. It didn't surprise him. The recruiter made no secret of his neo-Nazi politics. This is the whole battalion that was out there. There's even, let me go now. Oh, is that the two? No, that's the same one. Here's another one. FBI, neo-Nazi militia trained by U.S. military in Ukraine, now training U.S. white supremacists. This is Mint News Press, but it's not a main site that I found, but all of their news actually lines up with everything else that I found. So that's why I picked them too, because also they got pictures of all of their little rallies and whatnot. This one is from over here in California. So you got guys from California and from America this is before the war. This is before everything started happening this year. They had white supremacists coming from America. This is what they're talking about. They're training U.S. groups. They're sending American white supremacists were going to Ukraine so they could learn their ways. They were going to Ukraine to help train under these guys and to help do everything that these guys got going on. This is, y'all know this guy here. Remember him, Mr. Bomb Iran, who ran against Obama? Yeah, he's in Ukraine. You see the symbol there? This guy right here is the leader, John McCain, at a rally with Ole Tiahanbach, leader of the far right-wing nationalist party, Svoboda in Kiev, Ukraine. John McCain standing next to a doggone white supremacist, bro. Right there. But these people tell us America's not a racist country. These people tell us that America, oh, we're not white nationalists. Oh, we're not this. You got all these folks over here, pushing for all of this. And America is supporting the white supremacists. When Putin said the denazification of Ukraine is beginning, he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. Again, I'm not for Putin. I'm not for Russia. I'm just pointing out the facts. This is just facts so that we don't be deceived, man. This is a critical time. This is why I was so it was man, I could tell you it was Yahuwah Elohim, because just the day before I had just talked to my wife and told her, hey, this coming week, I'm going to fast. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to fast this week. And right after that, I see Teo come on. He's like, man, we need to fast this week. That's y'all, man. We need to be fasting and praying and getting ourselves right because the lies are thick out here. They are thick. And it's getting ridiculous. I mean, I was just looking, even before I started the live, I was going over some stuff on Twitter, and I'm like shaking my head at the lies and just the nonsense and the willingness. It's like what y'all said, men will have itching ears. There's so many itching ears wanting to hear what goes with it because people want to just bring this down to good guy, bad guy. Oh, Putin's an evil Nazi. Yeah. When America's literally supporting the Nazis. This man is standing next to a Nazi leader. Come on, man. This is John McCain. He dead and gone to hell now. But, but he's standing right there next to this man. Like, come on, man. Come on. What is, how much more? Like, here we go again. The Azov fighters are Ukraine's greatest weapon and maybe its greatest threat. This is a 7-year-old article. Again, this ain't nothing new. This is nothing new. I have nothing against Russian nationalists or Great Russia, said Dmitry as we sped through the dark Mariupol night in a pickup truck, a machine gunner positioned in the back. But Putin's not even Russian. Putin's a Jew. You see this? I don't know how they feel about, what's his name? Zelensky. But you see this? These people are, they straight up Nazis, man. Look at Dmitry, which is said is not his real name, is a native of East Ukraine and a member of the Azov battalion. See, he's a native of East Ukraine. Remember those people in Donbass, Donetsk, and I forget the other location over there where Putin recognized them as neutral, independent zones. That's who they've been fighting. They've been fighting Dmitry and all of these dudes over here. They've been fighting Azov squadron. That they, for the last years, when they've been getting like mortar shells and all this stuff coming into their homes, this has been going on. See, nobody, the USA ain't been talking about it because the USA has been supporting low key under the table Ukraine because they want to get over there with that NATO. That's why Putin is jumping up and doing what he's doing. But again, this is all still by design. It's all by design. It's a play. It's a great play. It's an interesting play. It'll make a great movie. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you right now, it's all by design. I've got another one for you. Ukraine's right wing Azov battalion stages his own versions of Nazis' Cathedral of Light. This is RT. People say, oh, RT is questionable. I agree. RT probably definitely does have a slant because it's Russian. I don't disagree. However, if you read, one of the things that I recommend doing, and this is what I would tell folks, don't just listen to American news. American news is honestly the worst. It's low tier. But listen to all the news. I'll listen to WION in India. I'll listen to the DW. I'll listen to RT. I'll look at, there's all sorts of different news outlets. If I find something, I'll look at it. But what you do is you watch all of them. Watch all of them talk about the same story and see what's different. Watch all of them talking about the same issue and see how it's different. You'll start to notice that even as you go from the West over to the East, those who are on code, they're all saying the same thing. They're all telling you the same thing. Even I noticed, even with WION, I started noticing some stuff in Afghanistan, and when that was going on, they're like, oh, the women can't work, and women. I'm like, bro, those people can't eat. What are you talking about? They got a food shortage going on. They got a whole lot more other stuff going on than worrying about women getting into politics. They gotta feed people first. And they're like, oh, well, they're taking away women's rights. But all the women who are over there complaining about that look like the pink-haired, purple-haired folks from over here. You know what I'm talking about. Little weird glasses and always, 99 genders and everything's everything weirdos. Dumb folks. Dumb are the ones talking. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. Because see, what people don't understand is other cultures do things differently. Honestly, most of the women over there probably don't want to have what the women over here have, because they don't even tell you that. Even over here, when they were talking about women voting, a lot of women went against it because they knew that when you had the right to vote, that means you had to do other stuff. And women white women at least, had a good life. White women lived well, you know what I'm saying? They got to stay home, drink their little wine, and they didn't even have to breastfeed their babies. White women was living good. And then, here come the system. But what they don't tell you is that system was designed because when you get women working, guess what? Now you got more taxes. Now you got two people. You got the father and the mother now going in, and that's more taxes for the government. And now those kids get to go into the system. So now you're not getting the education from your family. You're getting what the state wants to give you. You go off and you get the state stuff. It's so, you just got to think bigger than everything, man. We can't watch CNN and say that we're informed. We can't watch CNBC and say that we're before. It's an effort now to be informed. Like there's some days I'll just sit here and I'll just be switching through a bunch of different channels just to try to glean information and wisdom. You can't just sit and watch one channel. If you just stay here and watch CNN and think you know it all, you are fooled. You are fooled. CNN, MSNBC, all that stuff is garbage. You have to read and watch everything. It's an effort to be informed now because there's lies. Look at how many times they've been. Have you seen anybody talk about the Azov Squadron on CNN? Let me just get that. Is anybody who watches CNN, MSNBC, and maybe Fox? Fox might have said something about it because Fox will sometimes say a little bit of stuff if it means they can like own the libs. You know how these conservatives like to do. We need to own the libs. So they love to do that kind of crap. But how many? Just give me a one if you've seen anybody mention Azov Squadron and the Azov Battalion and the Nazis from American media. Let me just take a quick poll. Anybody see that? and let me just do that real quick. Anybody see that? See that anybody see CNN or anybody mention that? Exactly. See though. Yes, exactly. 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 And even with social media, Garth, man, we got to be careful because social media is the worst. That's what got all these people thinking this Ghost of Kiev is. If the Ghost of Kiev existed, this dude wouldn't be running the Belarus right now to talk peace terms because they are literally cornered. They're done. They have them wrapped around Kiev. That's why the media keeps saying, oh, the Russians are losing ships and they're losing tanks. And bro, Ukraine doesn't have a big army. So let's think of we got to use our brains. Let's use our brains and think tactically. So if I have my army isn't that big, that means I can't spread my army out and do a regular front line. So I don't have enough troops for that. So what's the natural thing to do? I have to protect vital things. That's why Putin and all them dudes, the Russians just walked into Ukraine, bro. There was videos in that first day of them just driving down the street. Nobody stopping them. Them boys walked in Ukraine. They wasn't fighting. They fought at key locations. They fought at Chernobyl because Chernobyl is a key road that connects them down to Kiev. They fought at these airports and at these military locations. That's where they fought because it's logical that Kiev and Ukraine would say, okay, let's protect the bases, let's protect bridges, vital bridges, and let's protect the capital. So this is why everything is kind of hitting right now because now they're hitting the brunt of their resistance. They've got the brunt of everything sitting back there waiting on them at the Capitol. This is why your boy is like, I'm going to go to Belarus and have a talk with him. Because if they were so confident about winning, why would he want to have talks? Putin is basically saying, you good? You give? You know how when you beating up on your little brother and you got him down and you got his arm pulled up and you're like, you give? You give? Go on and tap out. Tap out. If this Ghost of Kiev existed, they said, hold on, let me see how many shots they said this man. They say he shot down like 6. Yeah, they say crazy footage of a MiG-29 of Ukrainian Air Force shooting down an Su-35 fighter jet and Ukraine's today, likely whatever. They say he shot. Yeah, it is. He's 6-0. He's 6-0. If number one, this man took down like 2 fighter squadrons by himself in this short amount of time. Number 2, why is Kiev under constant attack if this man was clearing the airspace? They literally said they have nothing to protect them from the air. They've been dropping bombs and dropping missiles over there with impunity. But if this man existed, things would be a whole lot different. It don't make sense. But people don't think, fam, we got to critically think. We are gifted, amazing people. But we have been Hellenized into, hit a button. We have been Hellenized into not using our brain. And this system has got us to the point where we are so quick to just go along with things. And with this, like, I forget what they call it. There's a psychological term for it. I think they call it the curse of the crowd or something like that, where people go along with the crowd because they don't want to be the odd end that sticks out. So a lot of times people will just go along with what's being said because they don't come out and say, what it is. They won't just be the one to say, wait a minute, this don't look right. This is weird. We are intelligent people. We break the word down with like nobody's business. Y'all has gifted us. It is time we turn that gifting, not just in the word, but in all matters. Everyday matters. Daniel was well learned. Him and all his homies. I hate calling them by Meshach, Shadrach, and a bad Negro because that's their Babylon names. But all of them were well learned and gifted. It said that they was like they even said it in Daniel. They were 10 times better than them in everything. They were smart. They studied not just the word, but Daniel knew chemistry. He threw a doggone pitch bomb, not a bomb, but it was a ball of pitch, threw it down the dragon's throat that they was worshiping in Babylon, and the dragon combusted on itself. How did he get the knowledge to know to do that? Where did the knowledge come from? Our people had knowledge, man. I believe our people had knowledge that they destroyed because they didn't want it getting in the enemy hands. That was some next level stuff. It's like my brothers over there saw the earth say, it's the cheat codes. Y'all gave us cheat codes. And we got to tap back into them, but he can't tap into them if our mind doesn't expand beyond this nonsense that this system has given us. We are Eurocentric in our mind, and we need to escape it in all areas. We got to stop listening to what they have told us. Everything that they have told us is a lie. How can we sit here and see that they lie? Nigga, they hid our whole history. They hid our whole history. Had us thinking we was African Hamites running around with grass skirts. They had us told us that we was nothing. And we see through look at all the dutiful stuff from dudes like Teo and Dante and Benaiah Israel and Dr. Kelly and so many more who have brought these facts forward to show that these are lies. We see that they lies. Why do we still keep believing these people? Why do we still follow their culture? Why do we still keep doing what they tell us to do? We need to stop. It's not the time to be watching and binging Netflix. Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you this was my personal. This was me personally. I put my wife on it. She will back it up everything. I don't say nothing for clout because when I get before y'all, clout ain't gonna get me nothing. Clout not gonna do nothing. I can sit here and lie all day, but what's gonna happen when I get before y'all? He gonna tell the truth. So what's the point in me lying? So there's this game that just came out, Elden Ring. I was like, man, I was so hyped for it because I love RPGs. I love, that type of stuff. I'm a nerd. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. So I get it. And I was like, man, I felt bad because I really don't have time like I used to. My job schedule is like kicking up and stuff. But I'm like, let me just give this a try. I played it for 2 hours. And my spirit was so rocked by it. I didn't like the stuff that was going on. You do incantations, and I didn't like the mythos. And it didn't sit well in my spirit. But something in me wanted to keep playing because I like that exploration. I like that type of stuff. I had to uninstall it and get rid of it. And then I'm telling you, ever since it came out Thursday, ever since I uninstalled it, I've been seeing nothing but videos about it. I've been wanting to still go and download it again and reading. I got a refund for it, but I want to go download it again and play it again because it was fun. And it was like, man, you work hard. You need a distraction. Get away. I'm like, why? Distraction? Who says I need a distraction? Why? If you're distracted, that's when the enemy gets you. Come on, man. Nah, I had to put that crap down. I was like, nope. All day yesterday it was bothering me to want to play that nonsense. I got in my word. I was like, I'm not finna do this trash. I'm not finna go out here and do that. We have to cut down on the playtime. This is not the time to play. When we get back in the land and we all good, then we can relax. Then we can just focus on building our kingdom. But for right now, we at war, y'all. We are at war, and we can't sit here and be worried about what's coming out on Netflix. Oh, what vacation I'm gonna take. I'm gonna go buy this new car, buy this new house. Y'all niggas, we need to be praying. We need to be praying and seeking y'all like never before. This junk is real. This is why I did my thing talking about men. This is why I've been mainly talking about sin and getting stuff out your life and fixing you, because I know everybody loves it when I talk about the ancient history and I go in on those things. I be trying to get into it, but I'm led by the Ruach, man. And I told y'all when I did this, I'm not doing this for no fame, no fortune. I'm not doing this for money. This is why I don't take no donations, no nothing. I don't put no cash up. Not saying that it's wrong to do that, because a workman is worth their due. This is my conviction that God has given me. So don't go around saying, oh, Big Red said it. No. Because as you see, I give to others. A workman is worth their due. I'm fully agreeing with that, but this is my conviction for me, because this is something that I saw in the church that I feel like knowledge should be free. I'm gonna give that now. This is the only time I'm gonna actually even tell y'all to share this video because I want our people to see this, so we don't fall for the okie doke. Because that's my drive. That's the thing that gets me, that y'all has been just putting in me. It's like, let people know that there's another side to this thing too. That we have to not only be wise in the word, but we have to be wise in the world. We have to be wise about how our enemy moves. We have to be wise about these countries and how they move. We have to be wise about all these different things. We don't got to be an expert. I'm not a military expert, but I'm not a dummy. I'm not a military expert. I'm sure there's brothers out here that's been in the military that can tell you more about the military than me, but I'm not a dummy, and I'm not an idiot when it comes to logic. I can look at things and look at movements, and you can logically see things through. Even when you do strategy games, the strategies are based off of military logic. I like playing games like Civilization, Command and Conquer. These are what they call real-time strategy games. Those are my joints, my jams. That's why when I saw this doggone thing sitting there by itself, I'm like, that don't make sense. That don't make sense. Because when I played Command and Conquer, we had artillery. The artillery was dope. I love the artillery. It was great. You mash 4 of them up, you could wreck a man base. But the artillery was weak, so you would never leave it by itself. You would always have support tanks sitting there. See, they were not only wise in our ancient people with the word, they were wise in war. What did it say? They had the men who were trained in war. We had to, come on, man. We have to be wise. It's excellent to be able to break down the word, but we also have to be excellent in our wisdom of this world and how this whole thing functions and how, yo, arrow swiping. I'm so mad I was going off and I heard that in my head when I read that. I literally heard that in my head. But we have to be wise, man. I mean, it takes time. That means that, hey, if that means you can't watch this series on Netflix because you got to sit down and read and study something, then read and study something. We got to get this nonsense out of our brains, man. I'm not saying don't have no downtime. I'm not saying don't never, just chill and relax. But I'm saying is use more time. Make time to learn and educate yourself. Make time to get more information, to dig deeper. Make time to go for things that you typically wouldn't go and look at. I remember when I first started getting into like quantum physics and getting into science and whatnot, I used to think as a kid, because this was what this is what the zeitgeist was in America. That certain people was born for it. You just got to be smart, and it's not a thing. So I would always be like, well, maybe I just wasn't that smart, and maybe I'm not this and that. But then when the internet came about, and I was able to just force myself to start learning things, but I started just teaching myself stuff. I started teaching myself little things, and I'm like, you know what? Let me jump into this science thing. It was easier than I thought. It's a crazy concept, but the more you study something, the more you understand it. It's just like the word. The more you study it, the more you gain understanding, the more you gain wisdom and knowledge. And then I found that as my knowledge of the world expanded, my knowledge in the word started to expand because y'all was able to show me stuff. See, y'all can only show you according to your capacity. See, if you don't understand nothing about quantum physics, how can he show you an illusion in the word with quantum physics when you don't even understand it? If you don't understand math to a certain level, how can you understand the math of y'all when you can't even add and subtract? We have to enlarge our learning out of more than just. Now I'm not saying just having knowledge of the word is bad, but we have to have more than that. We have to have a complete thing. See, there's this. The churches, always taught us, I don't need nothing but Jesus. I don't need nothing but Jesus. And this is true. All I need is Yahusha. But Yahusha told us he had wisdom. He knew about the things of the world. Come on, man. Why are we trying to walk in something that our ancestors didn't walk in? They had knowledge. They had wisdom and understanding of the world and of scripture. We got to be balanced. Anyway, I'm sorry about that little rant. I wanted to bring this channel up. This is called militaryland.net. I've been following them for most of this war. And they've been providing some of the best information. They mainly track all the different vehicles. This is how I know what the vehicles look like, because I've been watching these guys. Now it's acting stupid because probably because I'm playing this live. But they have they'll show you. See, look, here you go. Right here, Russian equipment and Verdansk on the photo. $2 BCR 80. This is how I started learning their names, because these guys basically are like military guys. They love the vehicles and whatnot. So they know the vehicles and how they look and everything. And they're also tracking the war. They have a map that they have showing you the truth. They've been pretty much unbiased, and they've just been reporting it as it comes. I've been following them. I recommend that if you really want to get some good information, these guys on Twitter, militaryland.net. This is a good Twitter channel to follow as far as getting information and learning about movements and stuff, and learning about, they got videos of different things showing you what's going on. It's really an excellent channel for tracking all of the whereabouts of what's going on. Use it among other things. This is one thing that I use among other things. Sometimes too, I'll just even search through Twitter from other different accounts to see if I can find videos or other stuff. Now, if you don't have Twitter, and even if you do, here's my warning to you: Twitter has nonsense. Be careful. Be careful what you get on there. I've had to clean my Twitter up because fools just in lust and nonsense. Twitter will kick you off for, speaking the truth, but they allow full-on porn to exist on their thing. This is the contradiction of these people is just ridiculous. Like, it's absolutely asinine. But this is a great channel here. They even have a website actually too. So you can just go to their website instead of going to the Twitter, because everything on the Twitter is on their website. And they have all the little summaries. They have all the pictures and everything for all of what they have going on. They give you summaries. See, they have a map right here showing you the movement. This is Crimea down here, showing the Russian movements going up in the northern area. They show you the movements in here. It's really dope. They're dope. I like their approach. They're not biased so far. They're not really like, saying who or what. They're just telling you what's happening. So this is pretty much what I've been following to get like good information on movements and what stuff is going on. And I've been supplementing that with like watching live news and all these other different things that's been going on. So how I say, remember how in the beginning I said all this is it's all planned. It's all planned. You know what I'm saying? It's all planned. This is all in the know. So I've been telling y'all about this. This is the World Economic Forum, and it's called The Great Reset. I've been mentioning this. I've been saying this. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is real. This is 100% real. They've changed this website some because it's gotten some, people like me have been calling them out, and they've been changed a few things. They got rid of their little video that they had that was telling you how 2030 was going to be, where you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. They got rid of all that. So they want to put it now. Oh, we're COVID response. This is an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate in simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the COVID-19 crisis. To improve the state of the World Economic Forum is starting the Great Reset Initiative. Now, number one, global stakeholders. Now, using the logic of this world, nobody voted for these people. Who are these global stakeholders? Who are these people that decide that we need a reset? Who are the people that get to decide this nonsense? How come they don't let the people decide? How come you have your little meetings at Davos and don't tell everybody else about what's going on? Why is that? Why? Who authorized you to make this reset? We got to start asking questions. Ask questions. Stop taking everything and just be like, oh, that's this. Oh, and being just so quick to go with the narrative. We have been blinded from day one. We have been taught to trust them and taught to just look only to them. And if it's not an authoritative source, then it's going to be trash. No. Non-authoritative sources sometimes will give you better information that leads you to real facts. I've seen many of the non-authoritative websites list up real facts that I can find with simple Google searches. If you go on something, you can easily do a quick couple Google searches and determine if something's real or not, or if it's shaky gray ground. It's not hard. It's not hard. Why are these people doing this? Let me show you a little video real quick. This is from the words of Klaus Schwab. Somebody edit this and put this together. I want to show y'all this.
Young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, half of this cabinet, are actually young noble leaders of the world economy. We penetrate the cabinets.
The change is not just happening. The change can be shaped by us. We have to prepare for a more angry world. How to prepare? Takes the necessary action to create a fairer world.
See there, you'll own nothing and be happy. They took that. I could find the video. I just didn't feel like going to hunt it down again because it's out there. But this is a ripoff from that video that they had. You'll own nothing and be happy.
I see the need for a great reset. So people assume.
Number one, who is Klaus Schwab sounding like a Bond villain, looking like give somebody a great reset? Like, this dude look like a, look at this man, look, this man look like a straight up Bond villain, bro. Like, look, Mr. Bond. Oh, Mr. Bond. while I go reset, I expect you to die. How dare you coming into my plans? You are too late. We have penetrated every cabinet. The man sound like a straight up cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon, and his name is Carl Schwab. Like, bro, this dude looks and sounds like a cartoon villain. But the stuff that he's doing is straight cartoon villainy. Like, listen to him.
So people assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had, and everything will be normal again. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen.
There is only one way this pandemic is going to go. It's going to get worse and worse and worse.
The next crisis is already waiting for us around the corner, and it is the climate crisis.
Bruh. Again. The man sound like a Saturday morning cartoon villain, man. The man sound like a Saturday morning cartoon, but you heard what he said, and you saw who he mentioned, Justin Trudeau, and how they penetrate the cabinets. Now, I'm gonna play this one here. I'm gonna play this. This is from The Rising. Kim Iverson. I used to watch The Hill, their news. I used to watch them a lot because they had Crystal and Cigar on there. I don't agree with Crystal and Cigar all the time, but I like the fact that they bring forth. That's another one. They're called Breaking Points. If you want to check them out on YouTube, I don't agree with all of their opinions, especially Crystal. Crystal sometimes be saying some of the dumbest stuff, but sometimes she says some intelligent stuff. So you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. A lot of times, we'll hear something like, "Oh, they cussing, oh, they this, oh, they that." Bro, get past that and look at the information that they're bringing. Look at what they're saying. Get past that. Eat the meat and throw out the bones. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Learn. This is the problem with black folks. We behind the 8 ball because we were so, we was number one just in the press. We was trying to live. It was a struggle for us just to live for a lot of our grandparents and our fathers and stuff. So we at a point now where, things are a little different for us now. We different, but we still got that old mindset. We still have that. Some of these Gentiles been doing this for a long time because, they had the freedom to do it. And I know a lot of stuff that I follow. I look at some of them, and some of them, they close. They be mad close. They miss it when it comes to the biblical part. But man, when it comes to calling out this government, calling out what they got going on, oh boy, they've been knowing it for a long time. When black folks were still around here crying and voting for Obama, they saw him for the deep state asset that he was. And it wasn't the racist one. The racist one saw him as a deep state asset, but they don't see Trump as a deep state asset. They're, vaccines are bad, but your boy Trump was the one who made Operation Lightspeed, and your boy Trump was at a rally telling you to get this, your medicine. So if you're so against this medicine, why are you so pro-Trump when he was the one who actually put all this into play? But don't tell them that. Don't tell the Trump people that. It's different. Cognitive dissonance. This nonsense that's going on in the world is done by Yah. He has hardened their hearts. Before I go to this, I'm going to show y'all this. I was going to wait to the end to show you this, but I want to show it now because it's this to show you the hardening of the heart. The hardening of the heart. I'm going to get to that main article for the information there, but this guy right here. So, actually, I have to put it in context. So, basically, Putin ordered his military command to put the country's nuclear deterrence forces on high alert. That's serious, y'all. He ain't playing. You see, he running through, whatever, ran through and did what he did in there. The bro not playing. So they all here. Yeah, warp speed. That was the name of it. Warp speed. That was it. They putting their nuclear arsenal on alert. Now, here's the dumb American. As if the USA doesn't have enough nuclear bombs to melt every meter of ice in suburbia, flooding Russia with radioactive wastewater. The difference is that we have the money to keep our arsenal in optimal condition. There's no guarantee that a Russian bomb will even detonate. Team America, go America. Now, brother told him, you do realize Russia has more nukes than the USA. People been out here telling them. I even dropped the post. Let me drop down here to where I put my little, actually, no, I think it was under his, it was under his thing. I had a reply to him. Where did it go? I had it on here. Hold on real quick, y'all. Let me find this. It's comical. It's absolutely comical. Actually, I think, no, it's up here under the brother's comment. That's what it was. Yeah, it's under his comment. Right here. Here we go. So yeah, that's it. So it should be down here. Show more replies. Man, I can't. That sucks. I had it sit here and now it's gone. Basically, he comes on and he's like, oh, he's saying all this stuff. So I come in there and I'm like, because sometimes I like to do things for fun. Sometimes I like, especially when it comes to, I'm not gonna lie, y'all pray for me. The shot and Fro Day is still strong with me. But when I see arrogant Americans, I like to remind them that they're not that smart. And I told him, I'm like, bro, they have hypersonic missiles. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it doesn't matter if you have more. I said, they have hypersonic missiles. This dude comes back and says, oh, well, those things have to be on the land because, those hypersonic missiles are the ones that the hypersonic is the things that break your eardrums. It's okay. You don't have to worry about that. They won't even get over here. Bro didn't even understand what a hypersonic missile was. And I had to come back and tell him, I'm like, bro, hypersonic missile means it goes faster than sound. And they also have AI that controls them. So they change their pattern. So anti-air, all that anti-air stuff, like that one that America sold Israel that they were using to take out the Hamas rockets. Yeah, that works on Hamas rockets because Hamas is launching rockets out of a hole in the ground. Look it up. Hamas, which is honestly, shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they can doggone get rockets and launch them like that, like that's crazy. I'm like, what? You can launch rockets out of holes in the ground? These jokers launching rockets out of holes in the ground. These are old garbage rockets that they got like pieced together from old Soviet era Cold War nonsense. And they want to compare that to a supersonic missile. The missile moves faster than sound, and it has AI algorithm that varies the pattern so you can't catch it. Anti-air can't stop it. So if this man is putting his nukes on blast, guess what he loading them in? Hypersonic missiles. And remember when they found that submarine off the coast of Jersey? Okay. We can't sit here. Again, this ain't our battle, Hebrews. This is why we need to be praying, because this mess is getting crazy. And these folks over here is out here. This is in a day. All the people in Kiev, when they interviewed them, and I was watching all the interviews coming up to it. I've been watching the Russia thing since 2020. Since 2020, I've been paying attention to it even more. I've been seeing it since 2014, and I will watch it in and out, off and on again. But when things started ramping up around to end of 2019, 2020, I kind of got glued to it. Russia got some stuff. The stuff that they sending out there to fight the Ukrainians, that's not the good stuff. The Ukrainians are like low tier. Why would you send your top tier stuff to go fight them? They ain't even pulling out the good stuff yet. They ain't even pulled out they fancy weapons yet. And these fools is over here being arrogant. Like, this junk don't make no sense. These people is arrogant. They don't see that they around here pride comes before the fall. And y'all is hard in their hearts. But going back to the Great Reset, I'm gonna play this here. This little interview that she does here with that's not her. She plays an interview from Joe Rogan. I'm gonna play this here real quick.
Majid Nawaz, let's watch this clip.
They call it on their own website, they call it the Great Reset. That's what they say themselves.
Yeah, that's a bizarre thing to do, openly. Why do you think they openly discuss it that way? And openly, because the Great Reset has always been this gigantic conspiracy theory among the online folks. Like, this is all part of the Great Reset. Well, when he wrote a book called The Great Reset, you're like, hey, man, shouldn't you be hiding this? And
in 2017 at Harvard, he's saying, we're going to basically, all of these world leaders will penetrate their cabinets with our young global leaders. He's open. He's open. Blair's open. During the Iraq War, Blair tried to bring in ID cards in Britain. He failed.
He's talking about Tony Blair, the Chancellor of Britain back in the day.
Now he's back, and he's trying to bring in digital ID during COVID, right? So they're open about it.
So this is going to
Prime Minister, rather. Their Prime Minister.
Be this never-ending process to slowly move the goalposts
towards more and more authoritarianism. Checkpoint society. It's all there. They told us this.
People have to.
Hey, yo, you see Joe's face, though? You see, like, the smoke coming out his ears, like, oh, the conspiracies were real. Oh. So this is the average American. They think this stuff is fake. They're ignorant. This has been going on for years. America don't even realize that they've been sold out years ago. Their leaders, all the folks who they looking up to, who they think is going to save them, they got CPAC up there. Hey, man, Trump was a plant. I don't care what nobody say. Trump was a plant from the government. He was not some dude that went against the establishment. He did exactly what the establishment did. He went with the doggone narrative for the Zionism because he moved the capital, move the embassy to Jerusalem to help back up the capital over there. He's been down with their plans from the get-go. If he was down with all the stuff, he signed those same deals that he was talking about, how he drained the swamp, but he did turn around and sign the same deals that Obama did. He signed the deal that continued the Patriot Act. Every president has done it. If he was so against he was so for the people, why didn't he say, okay, well, the FBI themselves has said that the Patriot Act and this surveillance act that we have that's tied to it has never gotten us any information. So let's cancel this. It's useless. It's wasting money, and we need to give people their freedom. We're not like that no more. Nah, he kept the ball moving. Let's keep it going.
Realize this, right? This is important.
Yeah.
Now, Majid references the Young Global Leaders Program and how they've penetrated cabinets of governments. Him and Rogan go on to play a clip of Klaus Schwab at Harvard at that meeting he was talking about, bragging about this, and they play that audio clip over the Imperial March. So instead of us watching that, I have the actual video clip for you to see. Now, keep in mind, this is from 2017. Here it is.
Watch this. Like I said, I highly recommend The Hill, only for Kim. If you see a Kim Iverson on the front of it on The Hill, watch it. Kim, again, I don't agree with all her points, but man, she brings up stuff that nobody talks about, and I love it. She is on point.
When I mention now names like Mrs. Merkel, even Vladimir Putin.
Wait, let's play that again. Let's play that again. Let's play that again.
When I mention now names like Mrs. Merkel, even Vladimir Putin and so on.
Wait. Y'all, did y'all hear what he said? Y'all hear who he said? I'm gonna play it one more time.
When I mention now names like Mrs. Merkel, even Vladimir Putin and so on, they all have been young global leaders of the World Economic Forum. Mm-hmm. But what we are very proud of now is the young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets. So yesterday I was at a reception for Prime Minister Trudeau, and I know that half of this cabinet, or even more half of this cabinet, are actually young global leaders of the world.
Now, they have a group, the Young Global Leaders, and that's tied to the World Economic Forum. Trudeau went through it. Putin went through it. Argentina's president went through it. Angela Merkel went through it. Even find out she's going to start naming. I'm going to fast forward a little bit when she starts naming names of people that went through this. Now, he said Justin Trudeau and his cabinet went through this. What did we see happen in Canada? What did we see happen in Canada? They've had the craziest lockdowns, and look at whether you agree with it, because I don't agree with it. I think it was dumb, and I think also it was set up, because why in the world would you have all the truckers who carry your supplies go on a doggone strike during a supply crisis? Like, where was these dudes a year ago, 2 years ago? Why are you waiting until the supply crisis is already exacerbated to go ahead and have one? And then you got these dummies here in America doing the same thing when half of the doggone lockdowns are being lifted. All the lockdowns are being lifted, and now they want to go on a doggone convoy. Now they want to go and have a freedom convoy. Oh, we're going to go ride for freedom. Honk, honk. Seriously? Seriously. All this time, y'all could have did this in 2020. Y'all could have did this in 2021. You wait until 2022 when basically they done with the virus and now they ready for World War III. Now y'all want to go ride cross country when we need people to deliver stuff. All right. Okay. That's not nothing, totally, Sonda Large, she had an amazing program last night. If you ain't missed it, go back and watch it, where she had the Illuminati card game. And what did they have? Trucker protests. Oh, but this is, Big Red, you was conspiracy theories. Oh, you just be saying stuff. Oh, it's not that serious. This is just people just out here just being people, and it's not all under control. There's no cabal of people at the top. Y'all said that we are against principalities and powers and rulers of darkness. The same offer that Satan offered Yahusha. He said no. He offered it to Klaus Schwab and his family and all the other families that he worked for, and they said yes. They said yes. See, you just see Schwab. He's the face of it all. But you got a hidden hand that's doing stuff down there that you don't even know. They're the ones calling the policy, and Schwab is the quarterback, making sure everybody running their routes and making their catches. Why do you think that Canada reacted the way that it reacted when they did that protest? I watched that protest. I watched it because I wanted to see how they reacted. Because how you see how they did it there, that's what's going to happen here. That's what's going to happen here. DC already getting ready. DC already got all their stuff out. And these idiots is making their way over there like good little dummies, just like they did on January 6th. They getting played. They getting played like they played us. They falling for the same okie doke. The same one. But it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. I seen them dudes out there in Canada whipping and beating on them people, and they wasn't doing nothing but just hanging out, having a party, dancing off beat, and smoking weed. They had bounce houses. They had vendors. It was like a giant party sitting outside the parliament building. That's all it was. That's all they was doing. They wasn't, dude, they was, and you know it's Canadians, right? So, you know, Canadians, how they are, you know what I'm saying? They being all extra nice. They were shoveling the sidewalks. They they were cleaning up the trash. Bro, they were again, the only crime they committed was dancing off beat. That's it. That's all they was doing. And they brought down the stormtroopers on them. They fired the one police department person, got the other one in because the one police department didn't want to come against him because he was like, they weren't breaking the law. So Trudeau, who's a student, the Padawan of Charles Schwab, the evil emperor over here, Trudeau, you know what you must do. Let them know the fury of the reset. And then he goes out there with he go out there with the stormtroopers and beat them people down. One lady had her wrist broken. One lady got ran over by a horse. And it was just nonsense. Then they put fences up. They blocked their bank accounts. They're going into businesses. They went to businesses that were serving the truckers and helped them. The police were visiting the businesses after the protest was over. Come on, man. We got to be wise. We can't just be sitting here thinking, oh, that's what's going to happen. Oh, this, no, there's that. We can't just be readers of the word. We got to also see that this word is coming in action, and we have to be wise and look for it on all the levels and stop thinking that everything is everything and that these people telling us the truth. These folks be lying. I don't even believe half the stuff that I hear off of them. Even though I like Kim and what she say, I still look at her skeptically with a grain of salt. Anybody that's not like Brew, that's not like 100%, that even, you know, like, you got to look at everybody skeptical, even me. Be skeptical, but I'm showing you receipts. You can go research everything. I show you receipts. I ain't got no, this is why I do it the way I do it. I don't make PowerPoints and all that kind of stuff. I like to show you what I'm doing, show you how I'm going that way. Because if I show you my process, then I can help you learn. So when you go to research, you do that process. See, I ain't want to sit here and be like, I'm the arbiter of all knowledge and you have to come to me. No, I'm going to show you how to do it. So you may see something that I don't see. That's how y'all got us. We got to stop with that. I want to be the soul this guy and soul this guy. That's why I told y'all. I said, man, I feel the need to make a channel, y'all, but I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. I don't want to come and just preach. That's cool. That's not. I'm not saying there's something wrong with that. Everybody has a position to play. Dante's position is coming at these UA cats and making them look like donkeys, and he's amazing at it. That's his role. He's doing his role, what y'all told him to do. Y'all has Teo Ministries, Minister Yakoba, Minister Teo. He got them as the watchmen. He's been showing them stuff since 2015 to help bring people in and show this stuff. Everybody has a role. I started learning more about the ancient Hebrew from listening to Pastor Kelly. Listening to how he talked about thinking about, I'm like, you know what, Pastor Kelly, that makes sense. Because why would the new Hebrew be the same as the old Hebrew, especially since these Yiddish folks been running around with it? Everybody has their area. Benaiah Israel and Pastor Kelly, like the historians, everybody has a role to play. And we got to start, this is my little aside. Don't just try to go do what somebody else is doing. Ask y'all what he wants you to do. If he wants you to come up here and teach people how to cook healthy, do it. If he wants you to come up here and teach people how to work out in their home because they can't go to the gym, so they need to still be healthy in the home, do it. Do it. It's that, don't think outside the box. And you don't always, yes, the getting in the word is key. Everything has to go through the word. Everything goes through the filter of Yah's word and his laws. But we have other duties that we have to do too. That's why he gave us gifts and talents. It's for all of us to go out there and do it. Now is the time for us to be doing it, man, because it's getting crazy. It's time for us, for those of y'all that have survival knowledge, put stuff out there because folks gonna need it. You see what happened to them folks in Kiev? They thought they was good. They thought they was all straight. They're like, oh, it's not gonna come here. Oh, it's just the politicians being politicians. Oh, nothing's gonna happen. And now they out there hiding in bomb shelters and running to Poland. Don't sit here and think that, but don't, because I know a lot. I've seen even a Christian dude say, oh, here come all the end time prophets now. They want to come talking. Bro, ain't no end time prophets. This is prophecy. We can't be complacent and think that, oh, this is just another thing. This is different. We need to be before Yah. Big time. Because this junk is real. You see this mess? They put the man in that cabinet in Canada. This is not just some random stuff that's happening. This isn't just, Yah making people just do stupid stuff. This is planned. Yah is using the plans of these fallen angels who are using their foot soldiers to try to put their plan in the earth. Yah is using it against them. We're witnessing that now, but we still have to be wise because you can get destroyed in the middle of all this, the crossfire, if you don't be wise and listen. These people be planning this stuff. They know about this. Let me see if I can get to where she starts calling names.
Half of the Canadian cabinet are young global leaders.
Yeah.
Same for Argentina and France. Again, this clip was from 2017, but most of these leaders, certainly their cabinets are still in power and have been during this pandemic. And interestingly, the names and the countries he mentioned in 2017 ended up being some of the most dystopian and authoritative during this pandemic. France and Germany have cracked down on the unvaccinated, implementing digital passports in order to live regular life. Emmanuel Macron has said he wants to make life as difficult as possible for the unvaccinated. Russia also implemented a QR code system during the lockdowns, which forced people to register their home and work addresses. And then the QR system would know if you tried to catch a subway outside of your route or schedule.
Russia did that. See, this is why I said I don't have a side. This is why I'm like, I'm not picking, this and that. People say, oh, he's just pro-Russia. He's just anti-American. No. All of these folks are doing what they're designed to do. Russia is doing this under their design because every world war has brought about an epoch in the world. The world was never the same after all of these conflicts. They are already said that they're ready to come out here and do a great reset. When you reset, what do? You start over. But to start over, you have to get rid of what you're doing. If I reset the game, my current run of the game is done, and I got to go and start over again. That's what they're doing. Because fiat currency is at its end. Every fiat currency has failed. Look it up. Look it up. Fiat. Look at what fiat currency is. A fiat currency is something that has no backing. It's just ether. Ether. They just throw it out there. We're at the end of this. I tell people, they're like, oh, well, when's it happening? Well, when is it going down? They don't want me to give them a time and a date. Like, are you serious? Serious? Pay attention. They designed it this way to have that whole frog in the pot thing is not real, but I say it's humans in the pot because humans are like that. Humans will sit here and we'll just be nice and comfy until boom, rug pulled out from under you. Come on, man. You see it already. They try to blame inflation on Putin and that doggone pipeline way over there. Gas been going up since long before that. I was already spending almost $4 for gas. It's going down. I spent $7 on gum and water out the gas station. This was long before the whole Putin thing went down. I spent $7. One thing of gum and a smart water. $7. Come on, man. This ain't nothing that just started happening. We have to be wise. We have to use wisdom. And to do that, we have to search the matter out. Not just in the word, but even when it comes to things like this. If we want to make sure that we are making the right moves, we got to move intelligently. We can't do what they tell us to do all the time because sometimes they'll tell you to do something. They'll have you run right into a trap. We have to be smart, man. Man, there it is right there. I love that, Charles. That's right. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. I was reading about Nebuchadnezzar and Daniel. It was an interesting thing I was reading about that. I was looking up the 10 horn thing again and reading about the statue and stuff that Nebuchadnezzar had. Fun fact: there's in the feet with clay. Do you know there's also metal clay? There's a clay that they use for metal, like jewelry guys and different people like that. They call it metal clay. And the most popular and most well-used metal clays are all the same metals that are in that statue: the gold, the silver, and the bronze, or brass rather. They make metal clays out of gold, silver, and then copper. Copper is an alloy of brass. When you make brass, and I believe it's I forget I can't remember the other component of it. They make it it's an alloy, but brass has the same qualities as copper. And all of that is done also in the metal clay. So even though, Daniel gives him that definition for the clay, you can also, because see, I love y'all. He works on so many multiple levels. Because you can even look at the clay as a combination of all the other previous kingdoms. That's what we got right now. All of this stuff check out Sister Shonda's channel, what she was doing about Jezebel. That jump was on point. Check out another video I did on the channel from Babylon to Rome to America. It's all this is the same stuff. These the same deities, the same rituals. They got different names. Pastor Kelly talk about syncretism. He has a lot of stuff talking about that. When you talk about Christmas and all the different holidays and stuff, how they syncretically line up with all these different pagan religions. Y'all was letting us know that, guess what? They don't make one for the iron though, because iron is so strong. That iron Roman back end with everything mixed in. It's still going on right now. Rome, we still got it going on right now. This is the kingdom that y'all was talking about. We in it, and we're about to see it come to the full fulfillment of it. When they do this whole reset, and then you're going to start seeing man of perdition rise up. my guess for the timeline, this is my entry into how things is going to based off of prophecy, is we about to see ourselves return to the land. And then we're going to go in the wilderness and God's going to restore us back to our land. But during that time, we're going to be working with different, they're going to have other countries coming to us, doing stuff with us. But it's going to come to a point where these countries start coalescing into that one world government. And then you're going to have the one world government and Judah. How do you think at the Battle of Armageddon, they came and come run up on us? It's not going. This is going to be something that's going to happen at a later date, down the years from now. Our ancestors, our kids and grandkids, and all that coming down the line. This is what they're going to be looking forward to. They're going to be coming back and looking at the stuff we left, saying, "Okay, we know what's going to end up happening, so we got to be prepared." And we know that when these fools start coming and running up on us, Yahuwah finna come crack the firmament and come make things get real. Blood up to the bridle, all of that. We at the part right now when we about to get back into the land, and the world is getting violent. It's getting mad violent, and we got to be wise, man. We have to be wise, and we have to not only just search out the word, but also search out the things of this world and make sure that we have the right information. Sometimes turn off that TV, turn off that video game, sit down and not just read. After you read your word, learn more about what's going on in this world. Look at what's happening around you so you can be prepared. Preparation is more than just saving up food. It's also paying attention to the news, paying attention to the signs. See, I see that trucker rally. I'm getting ready because martial law gonna come in. Look at what happened with Canada, the other Great Reset alumnus from Charles Schwab. Look at what they did. They cracked down the stormtroopers on those people, man. It's doggone. It looked like something straight out of an old dystopian movie, man. Sometimes I gotta look out the window and see if I'm not in Blade Runner or something, man. Like I'm out here dealing with replicants sometimes when I look at we already dealing with bots because half the people on social media be bots. We gotta be ready, man. We gotta be ready for what's coming. Get in your word, but also pay attention to this world and their movements. Look and watch and be ready. Because when this junk happens, you're not gonna get warnings. It's gonna be man, me and my wife was sitting here. And it was funny. She had everybody at her job was telling her about Red Dawn, and she never seen it. And I started laughing. I said, "It's funny that everybody's talking about Red Dawn. Look at y'all's talking, man. Even these folks don't even realize it. They talking about the spirit of Yah. Red Dawn, about an invasion in America that was with Russians and other folks teamed up together. We started watching it. I said, "Here, I'm gonna show it to you." I pulled it up. We started watching it or whatever. I fell asleep on it because I've seen it so many times. But she seen it and she was like, "What?" And then right after that, boom, all this mess started popping off. I started looking and I'm like, "Oh crap! Oh Russia running up on them boys! Oh, it's on! It's going down!" There was no warning. There was no advance. It was just like the only warning they had was air raid sirens. If you sitting around here and you waiting until you see the doggone vans rolling down your block with the stormtroopers coming in telling you to stay in your house and you can't leave because there's martial law. And you ain't got no food. Because you weren't watching and paying attention? Come on, man. Come on, man. I agree. This is the only time I really, I don't tell y'all like, share, what I'm saying? I don't like doing the YouTube thing, what I'm saying, like that. But this one here, I will tell y'all to like and share because I want more people to hear this for what's being said. Because this right here is going to be crucial. We're going to see nonsense in the coming days, y'all. It's going to get nonsense. And they playing games, man. They playing so many games. Be very careful with what you see. Be very careful with what you hear because there's so much deception right now. I'm talking about coming from both sides. I was trying to find this video from Russia that they had where it was this they said, oh, it was a civilian car and it got targeted by an IED, and they showed the inside and they showed supposedly dead bodies on the inside. Now, I am not a forensic expert, but if a body is in the car when it blows up, you're not going to see a super clean skeleton sitting there. The skeleton had like little burn marks on it, but the top of the skull was clean. I mean, it was white and clean. They had a skeleton in the back that was supposedly used to blow up. Again, some parts of it was charred, but parts of it was clean. Like it looked like it was straight out the science classroom, sitting in the corner. Straight clean. I'm like, come on, Russia. Who you trying to fool, bro? That ain't no real. That ain't real. None of that mess looked real. I'm like, come on, dog. I remember seeing, I think it was the one dude too, Patrick dude that Jacoba had showed the channel for. I started while watching some of his stuff. And they had another one where they're like, oh, we have shelling on this building. And he tried to like hype it up so much. And it was like little wooden shards like sitting on the hill. Like, look, this is the balcony that he had. And I'm like, bro, you ain't gotta do all that. We get it. It got shelled. We get it. Like, that both sides is doing nonsense, man. But we Hebrews, stay out of it. Stay out of it. Like I said, every now and then I'll say a little thing to a person here and there, like, hey man, no, you might want to rethink that. But when they come with the nonsense, I'm like, all right, have fun. Okay, have fun. There's so much nonsense going on, man. There's so much, even in the kingdom, man. It's nonsense. This is why we see all these folks with these crazy doggone beliefs and all kinds of crazy nonsense coming up. I had a dude come up saying that Jasher was pagan and Jasher wasn't of Yah and it was a pagan. He apologized for teaching it. And I'm like, so it's mentioned in 2 other books of the Bible by 2 prophets. Samuel, 2 Samuel, and then Joshua. So are you saying that the 2 prophets are pagan? Oh, you're not listening to what I'm saying. Just read these 2 things. I'm like, bro. I understand that. But if these 2 prophets of Yah are quoting this book in another book, wouldn't that make them pagan? And they was like, oh, you're lazy. Oh, you're arguing. Oh, you just don't get it. Oh, you don't want to learn. And I'm like, bro, I stopped arguing with them. I'm like, okay, you can go believe that. Okay, that's fine. Go believe what you want to believe. I'm not arguing with nobody no more. I'm not arguing with y'all no more. I'm not arguing. If you want to believe that Yahusha's not the real God, then go ahead and do it to your own chagrin. But as for me and my house, Yahushua HaMashiach is Lord and Savior, the Word manifested in the flesh, who ushered in the Ruach HaKodesh, and both did the will of the Father of Yahuwah in heaven. All one and the same. We ain't with that nonsense. And you coming with that nonsense, I'm not dealing. Now it's not the time for us to keep dealing with folks on nonsense. We've had to cut off family members because of nonsense. I can't. I'm going to tell you what it is, but I'm not going to sit here and keep indulging in your nonsense. You want to run off and go on vacations and go and do all this other crazy stuff? Go ahead. You're going to be caught in Acapulco when America getting raided or when your dollar stop working and you can't get on your return trip no more because your money ain't worth nothing. Like, people need to pay attention. This is not the time for nonsense. This ain't it, man. We got to get out of that. Stop looking for the play and the end time. Be watchful and vigilant. I ain't saying stress yourself out. But be watchful. Be watchful. That's all I'm gonna say, man. I wasn't gonna go no longer than this, man. Like I said, I started early because I thought I was gonna have to work this morning and do some stuff, but I got it done quicker. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just sitting here doing nothing. Let me go ahead and go live, man. But this is facts. I love my people, man. I don't want to see us go down because of ignorance, because they've kept us in ignorance for so long. We've been just so preoccupied with just trying to survive. We ain't have time to think about stuff like this. So all we did was just look at CNN and see. I know because I used to do it. I ain't had time to think about all that. I'm too busy out here struggling and trying to get by and trying to do all this and trying to get my career, do all this other stuff that, you know, they have it set up. So just the way that we live life is not natural. Just know that this is not natural. You shouldn't be working all day like this. It shouldn't be all this extra stuff that you got to worry about where you can't even talk to your family because you got, you know, you only got 5 minutes just to sit down and rest your brain because you in between doing work for Egypt and work for yourself and work for your house. You know what I mean? I understand that. I get that. I know not all of my, you know, my folks out here got a job like, you know, me where I can work from home and stuff like that. I get that. I understand. I know that sometimes, man, it's all you got just to go to work and to come home and be with your wife and kids and just relax. But it's time for us to be vigilant now. We'll have time to rest when we get before Yah and we in the kingdom and we out here working on whatever he gonna have us working on and doing us and getting us better. But for now, we have to be vigilant. We gotta be vigilant and we gotta pay attention. So anyway, man, that's all I was going to bring for today, man. I hope this is edifying. Like I said, this is the only one I really tell people to share, you know what I'm saying? Because I want people to get this information. Because I saw, I think she was on Teo yesterday. I saw a sister say something about Trump giving information to Putin, and that made me sad. Because I'm like, no. But, you know, I don't blame, it's not her fault. You know what I'm saying? This is how we was bred to be. We was born Hellenized, man. We was born with just the wrong information. And our whole thought process is backwards. This is why everything that I do, I get in arguments all the time with folks, even sometimes my own wife. I'll be 100. Because I'm questioning everything and I'm always looking at the big picture. And sometimes it's hard for folks to see the big picture. But you gotta like keep, even if you're dealing with your folks, keep stealing, keep striving, especially the ones that'll listen. Just keep, you know, especially our folks. Keep going. Keep telling them. Because we have to get to the point where we just basically be like, for Yah I live, and we gonna follow Yah. I don't care what the Europeans say. If Yah word say this, I'm doing this, and I ain't moving no other kind of way. If Yah says this, then this is how it is. I don't care if they taught me this from jump to nothing. As a matter of fact, there was Mama Red. She shared a video with hold on, let me look this up. I want to show this scripture real quick. She shared a video with these dudes. It was Gentile dudes. They were talking about the firmament, but the scripture that they shared in the beginning, man, I loved it. Let me pull this up real quick. Yeah, here we go. I'm just gonna pull their little video up. They got it right here on the screen, so I want to show this real quick. Because I love this scripture right here. It was perfect. I was like, yo, the scripture hit me. I'm like, that's perfect. Because this is literally, I'm sorry, my mic fell. Apologize for that noise. This is what it is. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahuwah. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. 1 Corinthians 3:18 through 19. Yah says you can't put new wine in the old wine bottles. If we lean on these college educations, if we lean on, well, you know, I was in the hospitals and I did this. I was in the military and I did this. I was in hospice and I did this. And I was in this and no, we have to take everything to Yahuwah. You have to understand. It's like my man Corey Red says, if I'm the government and want to maintain a sense of control, I'm only giving degrees in what I want you to know. They're not going to give you the information that they give you is not going to be 100. Don't lean on that information. Yes, it's good that you got your college education, but don't think that college education is going to save you from what's coming. You better lean on the wisdom of Yah. And if Yah's telling you to do something that go against your education, you better do it. You better do it. That's it. That's it. I don't care if you went to school for 9 years and got a PhD and were under 5 different things. You were educated in foolishness. That's what it is. We all were. Not just you, all of us were. We have to understand that the education of this world is foolish. And we got to start leaning on Yah and letting Yah lead us instead of letting our education and the foolishness of this education lead us. This education, you know, the education system in America is actually mirrored off of the education system of Rome, but it was the education system for slaves. It was a slave education system. They taught slaves how to do tasks. That's what we do. That's why you go for a major. Do they teach you in college how to critically think? Yeah, you'll take a philosophy class, but they don't teach you to critically think. Not really. You get some good professors that might teach you one or whatever, but they don't teach you to critically think. If there's, I always throw this out for people that always love to sit on their degrees. When you go to college, let's say I'm going to a medical school and they're doing this procedure. And I'm like, actually, I think there's a better way to do this procedure. And I write up a whole well-written out research way to do this procedure that's better than that. That doesn't require you using their drugs. It doesn't require you using any of their stuff. That I found a holistic, better way to do it. Do you think that holistic approach is going to be accepted by the greater mainstream? Now, there are doctors that do holistic things on their own, but to be taught in a wide range and say, hey, we're not going to put people on the pill, they won't save them, don't do something. I found a procedure that's actually better and it will heal you. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That's not, because you're going against the narrative. I had one of my, I remember one of my ex, she had her father, he had a high blood pressure and they're from Haiti. In Haiti, he had a flower that he would take that helped him balance his blood pressure out. He couldn't bring it over to America because the FDA had it as a banned substance. So you can sit here and take Tylenol and all this other nonsense that they give you that if you take too many of, you'll meet the father, but you can't get this natural plant that grow out of the ground. All right. They put CBD. Well, nowadays it's only available because it's the white folks want to do it, so now it's cool. Now back when black folks was using CBD oil, was using hemp, was using marijuana for all the purposes they use it for. Oh, it makes them rapey, and they go and they do other things with women, and it's terrible. And then they start the war on drugs. White folks start smoking weed and wanting to do it. They all of a sudden legalize it and let them get stuff. Come on, y'all. These are the same people that's educating you. Don't just think that the education is going to be one thing and then they're going to do another. It's the same people. You can't trust what they tell you. I'm not just being a contrarian. This is all facts. All this stuff I'm telling you is facts. You can go and research everything. If it's wrong, let me know. I will come up and say that it's wrong. I am not so prideful that I'll just sit on something that is wrong. If you can come up and find something and show it to me, shoot a brother an email, hit me on Facebook, whatever, and say, hey, man, I found this. Actually, the government was right. Hey, okay, the government was right. But it wasn't. I can tell you that it ain't. I can tell you that it ain't. We got to remember, man, these are the same people that put us on the ships. You think they're going to educate you? You think they're going to give you the proper education? You think they're going to give you the means to circumvent their system? Come on, man. I even say the same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is great for making your money, getting in and getting out. But long term, don't think that crap going to save you. Don't think that your Bitcoin holdings, bro. China nixed Bitcoin. None. They said nobody in China can take it. That's why Tesla did that pump and dump that they did, 2 years ago? Yeah, no, last year, right? It was 21. They did a pump and dump. Nobody talked about it because Elon Musk is their favorite billionaire because he smokes weed with Joe Rogan and says little things about AI. So everybody's like, oh, he's cool. No. He also want to put a chip in your head. Let's use our brains. Come on, man. That Bitcoin ain't going to save you. They're going to shut that down and say, nope, we got the, I forget the name of the dollar. They have one that America's working on. Is it the Hamiltons? The Hamilton coin? They're doing something. They got their own thing. So, yeah, you can have your private wallet. You can have all that. Oh, I got a thumb drive with all my Bitcoin. If nobody takes your Bitcoin, what good is it going to do you? What good is it going to do you? When they shut the system down and say, we only using our new cryptocurrency on our personal blockchain, and nobody's taking this. They did it with gold. If you think it's impossible, bro, they did it with gold. Gold. The government told everybody, hey, you can't pay your legal tender with gold. You have to bring it to us and let us give you fiat. So people had to turn in gold bars. So they had gold. You could have a stack of gold at home and they couldn't do you nothing because America said giving out gold was illegal. But you think Bitcoin is exempt? Okay. I know. Y'all gonna say, oh, you just don't understand it. Oh, you just don't get it. No, I get it. Like I said, it's great for the short term, man. Man, shoot. But if you got it, I say get what you can get. Get it out of it. Because they about to shut all this crap down, man. They about to get ready to shut this nonsense down. They got this doggone trucker convoy coming up. This is going to be their gateway to start doing the same thing. Look at what they did. Trudeau did. Look at all that stuff that they declared martial law on peaceful protesters. Let that sink in. Martial law on peaceful protesters. Come on, man. We got to be wise, man. We got to be wise about what is going on. We got to use our brains. and we can't be taken in because of being complacent. We can't be taken in because of complacency. We have to be watchful. This is not the time to be complacent. This is the time to be watchful. And yes, if you feel scared, good. Use that. Let that fuel you to be watchful. Let that fuel your drive to bring your mind out of nonsense. Let that lead you. People go, oh, being scared is bad. No, fear is what keeps you alive. I ain't saying live in fear because know that y'all got you. But if you're worried, pay attention. I know I was because I'm worried about my family. I want to make sure they're good. I want to make sure that if some raving idiot come busting in my house, I got something to bust back on them. I want to make sure that if the food and everything is all shut down, that, hey, I can feed my family. That's what we need to be worried about. Because guess what? You can't depend on that money in your bank accounts. You can't depend on none of that. If you don't got it in your house, come on, man. All you got to depend on is Yah and the physical provisions that he got for you. Because when this system shut down, it's going to be terrible. We got to realize how dependent we are on the system. That can you go outside and even know what plants are edible and what plants are not edible? Can you start a fire if you go outside? Do you know how to preserve food? Do you know how to get water and clean it? Do you have a means of cleaning the water? If the lights go out, do you have flashlights and a means to keep the lights on for days at a time? Come on, man. Come on, man. I agree with that, Dre. I totally agree with that. Trust the Most High. Trust the Most High. We got to get out of the Hellenistic mindset and get into his mindset, because the Hellenistic system that we're so used to is coming to an end. So I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all coming out. Like I said, I should share this because I want people to see this. I want people not to fall for the okie doke, because we getting into some perilous times. It's getting mad perilous. It's not just me. A lot of people been looking at this war and being like, it's something weird about it. I've been seeing a couple, mainly been brothers, hallelujah, been the brews, you know. Y'all be giving us that insight. There's something weird about it. I agree. There's something very weird. Because Putin's in on the economic forum. He's a part of it. All of these dudes is a part of it. Biden, all of them. They playing the game in front of us right now. They're playing the game. Let me tell you this before I go about the sanctions. So he sanctions the same old sanctions that Trump brought on, but he won't sanction their gas and all the other energy stuff. So if you're really trying to sanction them fully, why don't you just fully drop a full block? Hey, okay, no nothing from y'all, period. They're doing selective banks that are going to break out of SWIFT and select it. They're playing games, man. They're playing games, bro. We got to pay attention. They playing games. I appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, y'all be blessed, man. This week, I agree with Teo Ministries on this. We all need to fast. Even if, you pick a time, fast your own. I ain't telling you what to fast from, but have a fast sometime this week and be in prayer, because it's some real talk going on. This is the time for us to live right. This is the time for us to get before y'all. This ain't the time. All your little pet sins, all those other issues, this ain't the time for it. This ain't the time. I know, and I know it's been coming up because y'all been showing me like how little things is coming up. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. Because I have little things come popping up. I'm like, where this come from? Where this is coming from? Then I start paying attention to the world. I'm like, nah, this ain't the time for that nonsense. This ain't the time for that. This ain't the time. This ain't the time. Now is the time to age. If you got art with your wife, art with your brothers, or whatever that you can squash, get that thing squashed. This thing is bigger than all that. It's bigger than all this extra nonsense, because we got to go against the world right now. Because don't you think that the enemy know that our time is coming? Don't you think the enemy don't understand that there's a shift and there's a change? You don't think that us waking up to who we are and calling out and crying out to the Father is not shaking heaven? Come on, bro. They know what's coming. And there's nothing more fearful than a cornered animal. We have to watch and pray. Y'all be blessed, man. I appreciate y'all coming out today. I'll catch y'all again.
This is your sister Bray, y'all saying shalom to all the brothers and sisters scattered around the four corners of the earth. The kingdom is near. Praise y'all.
Ruach HaKodesh in my system. Father, fill me up, I wanna listen. Living water fills my soul. Father, never let me go. I need you to make me whole. I need you to pay the road. Father, fill me in, I need your wisdom. Not for pride and glory or attention. I need it so I can make better decisions. I get tempted, cleanse every inch of my temple. This love you give is so fulfilling. Ruach HaKodesh in my system. Father, fill me up, I wanna listen. Living water fills my soul. Father, never let me go. I need you to make me whole. I need you to play the role. Ruach HaKodesh in my system. Father, fill me up, I wanna live.